From a really young age, I've always wanted to go back to China. I wanted to bring more stories to a Western audience, diverse stories, especially about rural China. We went through many different villages and towns looking for the right characters, and often we would sit and talk with several of them before, moving on to the next one. And through word of mouth, we started to meet more people who were in farther areas that weren't easily accessible. And in the case of Li Jingcheng, we walked by his gate one day and he was just there and started singing at us and waving at us. And he was such a bright kid. When I saw him, I just knew I really wanted to know his story.
年上去呢，找老师，我说你们这个娃娃年龄凑不着，而且不要教我们这小孩。老师不用，我让我妈说去给我报名，不用。
Those who have disabilities are often discriminated against. There aren't enough special needs education and opportunities available to them.
想上学，想开车。
为什么想开车？
开车当司机拉人用。
Jingcheng is so full of promise and so full of spirit. I really hope that, when people see that they'll think about just the backdrop of his whole story and how many other students and children are facing these similar issues.
这个拿打工不定当吗？你想，我说这是，我给大家如果念书，我说你要好好念，你念不下，你打工，绝不把我们走不来走。
Wang Rongrong and her grandmother were so striking to me because I also grew up with my grandmother and I was also the oldest granddaughter. And when I met them, I just felt that same bond.
我看着他心里也不好受，就是经常看不清楚，就是一天一天的眼睛就越来越严重，看不清楚，他就心里很着急吧。
Grandma, she has cataract. She hasn't been able to see for many years, and Rongrong herself has this really debilitating bone infection. Yet the two of them have such hope in the future.
我就是一个很简单的想法，以后可以，赚钱，可以让我们的家庭，生活的好一些。
我走，我说你咋考上？我这辈子这就兴放下了。
Grandma is always working in the fields. Rongrong never complains and is always thinking about her future as an artist. For me, those are things that I felt were really valuable, and I wanted to bring that to an audience.
我们经常下乡，我们看到很多病人就甚至是几十年从来没有进过医院。很多人实际上这种病呢，在平时的预防或者平时的这个医疗保健就可以做得很好的，他都没有机会去做。
这个眼睛感觉怎么样？
哎，这个眼睛可以。
可以啊，像做的那个眼睛
啊，就会做这个做一下。
看一下来。
Dr. Zhang is very unique in China. There are a lot of practices that are very different from the States. People give tips when you're right before an operation, a sort of bribery, but it's also because there's not enough funding in a lot of the hospitals. It's sort of the ways that the doctors, make a living. And for Dr. Zhang to sort of give that up in a big city and to go back to his rural province is definitely very unique in China.
我通过做这件事情，就是我对这个人生的这个理解就跟其他人有一些不同，并不是说我有多么聪明，实际上呢，我们通过努力，我总结了很多东西，我也掌握了很多东西，这是好的一方面。这种财富是一般情况下不能用金钱来同等的去衡量的。我觉得我的收获远远大于我的付出。
In spite of all the difficulties that they've gone through, these characters have managed to pull together based on their meager resources, their own dreams and aspirations. And it really was something that pushed me on. And I really felt that, I had to complete this project. I really wanted to bring their stories and express, who these people are to the world on a very human level.